and Trinity Tuck was going through it. And basically they were feuding. I'm like, first of all, why are new queens and old queens fighting? So Luxx is now, as she was, and we saw she was she was part of the final four of season 15, along with Anitra, Sasha Colby, and Mistress Isabel Brooks. But apparently Trinity Tuck don't particularly care for her. So she was putting up a whole bunch of tweets, and it caused, girl. First of all, why would you change your name to Caitlyn? Like that name was tainted because of you know who. But I digress. She put a Drag Race spoiler. I mean, not really, just my opinion, but the only choice is Sasha. The end. They all have done great though. She also went on to say, I mean, not really, just my opinion, but the only choice. Oh yeah, I did just read that. What am I talking about? So then Luxx chose. So then I guess it was another thing that was going back and forth with them because they both did Amanda Lepore during their Snatch game, which in my opinion, it was okay. Like y'all really didn't give me Amanda Lepore. I met Amanda Lepore. A lot of us who are from New York know Amanda from the nightlife scene for eons. So when when I've seen you guys, I remember when she and Sophia Lamar, they was back in the day with Patricia Field. That's how far back the whole thing with Amanda Lepore goes. But and then at one point I believe there was a situation that went down at a nightclub over there was some transphobic shit that went down at a nightclub and they ended up suing them. It was a whole thing. I can't remember the exact details off the top of my head, but it was some drama that went back in the day. But anyway, so then she wound up doing Amanda Lepore during her Snatch game and talked about how Lepore hadn't been impersonated well in the past, meaning that was a dig at Trinity. Now, as the competition narrowed down to the top four, Trinity expressed that she wanted Sasha Colby, Mistress Isabel Brooks, or Nietzsche to win. And basically, that caused Luxx to respond because you deliberately went out of your way to exclude her from the conversation. And so Luxx wrote this: I'd be rotted too if I wasted all that money to look like that. That's what Luxx tweeted. I'm sorry, but I really don't do anything yet. I'm always getting dust thrown my way. And all because I said your safe performance was safe like 10 weeks ago. Shit, girl, please. And then she wants to preach about unity and peace. Like, girl, shut up and grow up. And then, of course, they proceeded to go back and forth. It was a whole thing, child. And then Luxx declared that Trinity was enabling fans to be hateful towards her, which we know happens a lot, especially when you're a white queen. When these white queens start going off, and y'all know y'all have y'all faves where the white queens can do no wrong in y'all eyes, but the minute a black queen shows any kind of confidence or any kind of, gravitas, she needs to humble herself. She's a little too arrogant, which is kind of what they said about Candy Muse. I'm currently rewatching season 13. So then she said, you only said I did great after people called you out for blatantly leaving me out or saying something shady towards me. And it enables people to send more hate. I figured you know how this works, seeing that you've been on the show like 10 times. Now, the All-Stars 4 winner replies, Sweets, I don't have to say you did great. You have a nasty attitude, and that's why I haven't rooted for you. I never said you weren't a good queen. You have done great. I just don't like you. Now, are we done? Okay, have a great night. Now, in response, Luxx brought up past accusations about Trinity allegedly running a Reddit account called She Devil by Night and had a few controversial comments on the social network and said, I don't need you to say I did great, Luxx tweeted, but I do need you to stop throwing sideways shots. It's obviously, I think he meant it's obvious, that you don't like me, so saying that was pointless. We are done, but you just done worse. Have a good one, She Devil by Night. And here's what I have to say on that, because it just goes on and on and on. I get that they have their points of view and they'll never come to a conclusion about it. But unfortunately, here's the thing. Detox said something when she appeared on Roscoe's the viewing party that you can watch every week on YouTube that I actually love watching with Nature Lopez and the other queens that's on them, and they always bring in new drag. They always bring in drag guests every week. I know this week they have on Bosco, Pagina Heels, and Adore Delano. So I was in the middle watching that before we did the show. But anyway, during the episode, I think it was a week before, but Detox was on, and I think I posted it on Facebook or something or another. She said something that made a whole lot of sense, which was we have so many other things that's going on in this world right now that we need to be focusing on, like all those 300 some odd bills that are on politicians' tables that are trying to get rid of all things LGBT. It's not even just drag queens; it's trans rights. They're trying to roll back gay marriage. They're trying to do a whole lot of shit right now against us. But y'all want to have two drag queens going at it on social media over some bullshit. So while it is grist for the mill and it's entertaining for this show, that is the whole point of me bringing this up, is the fact that we have bigger fish to fry right now. We need to be focused on a lot of these drag bans and stuff that's going on. Like, I know there was a lot of things that was happening this week. Excuse me, I think in LA, it actually happened in LA. I think it was Sonique was there, Honey Davenport. Excuse me. There was a drag march that went on in LA. Shout out to my friend David Laff, who was there. He also hit me up and told me that there was a big event in Tennessee that happened a couple of days ago. I think it was like on Thursday or something or another. I spent 2 days out there. Where they drove around a bus and they did a performance, like a big fundraising performance, I think for the ACLU. So Willem was there, Detox performed, Alaska performed, Aurora Sexton. There was a lot of, really big name drag queens that were there that performed at an event in Tennessee to raise money for the ACLU. So the girls have been out here protesting. I don't know what's going on in New York. If there's things happening in New York, let me know. But we've been out, the girls have been out here, and I know that on Drag Race, the finale last night, they did set up a whole thing in regards to like the ACLU, scan a QR code, you could donate money starting from $25 on up. I think the highest is 200 or something or another, or maybe more. But yeah, ladies, there's no need for y'all to be out here fighting and all this other shit. We have bigger fish to fry. So let's get into this Drag Race.